Oni-Goroshi is a powerful, unique sword that drops 6 linked. Farming the sword can be incredibly profitable at the moment because it's currently selling between 5 and 15 divines depending on the critical strike roll. Using the strategy I'm about to explain to you, I was able to farm 3 Oni-Goroshis in around 12 hours. The first one dropped after about 4 hours, the second one after about 2 hours, and the remaining one after 6. This is an incredibly good yield for just 12 hours of play because you don't need any equipment whatsoever when you start out. The sword can be acquired by handing in 27 rebirth cards or by vanquishing Uber-Hillock. This video focuses on the Uber-Hillock method as this is the most surefire way of getting one. Uber-Hillock has a small chance to spawn in the Act 1 Twilight Strand area. This area is special in 2 ways. The first is that the area refreshes after 1.5 minutes, which is the quickest time for an area to refresh in Path of Exile. Secondly, once you leave the area, it's impossible to get back in. Note that there also seems to be a direct correlation between the level of your character and the chance of Uber-Hillock spawning. The higher your character level, the more chance he's got of spawning. This means we want to create a new character and level it without it ever leaving the Twilight Strand. The simplest way of doing this is to kill Hillock and then log out without going into town. To maximise our efficiency, we should use a Scion. This has access to more movement speed on the tree than any other character at the start of the game. Within our first 7 levels, we're able to get up to 26% increased movement speed once we have 10% increased movement speed boots. To increase our chance of spawning Uber-Hillock, we need to spawn as many Hillocks as possible in the shortest amount of time possible. Once I got my characters the movement speed off the tree and some decent gear, I was able to find and vanquish Hillock in about 31 seconds. As an area's refresh timer starts to tick down once we leave the area, we're going to require 4 characters to be up all the time trying to find Hillock. So we roll our 4 Scions and we start running the beach. For the first few levels, I suggest you run right to the end of the beach, kill Hillock, and then work your way back across the beach killing everything else. Killing Hillock at the very start can be quite problematic because you'll run out of life and mana flasks. To maximise this, we need to pin Hillock up against this rock here, and then keep throwing the blade at him. Our skill does most damage at the end of its run, and therefore bouncing it off a wall causes it to immediately end the run. Later on, we don't need to bother pinning him against this wall as we'll do enough damage to kill him outright. That said, trying to keep him at the right distance so that the skill ends just where he is will maximise your damage and the speed at which you kill him. Once you get to level 4, you can stop hunting everything in the map and just kill things on the path on the way to Hillock. Once you get to level 6, providing you've got the gear you need, then you can just run straight to Hillock, ignoring everything. This is what you really want to get to. Your first priority gear-wise is to collect Runner's Boots, i.e. 10% increased movement speed, and a 2-handed sword. After this, we want to go for 2 iron rings. It is absolutely imperative that you do not equip a chest piece. Doing so will slow you down, which is bad. When looking for other items, just look for good stats that will either keep us alive or give us damage, such as attack speed on gloves. The best amulet to use is the one that gives us mana regen. This will help us not have to use our flask quite so often, which means they won't run out. The amulet is also a good place to get flat damage to attacks. So how do you know if you found Uber-Hillock? Well, you can't miss it. He's really hard to kill. The other giveaway is there'll be a glowing sword stuck out of his chest, which is a big contrast from the dark sword that he normally has sticking out of him. Now do note that I was concerned when I first was killing Hillock that I was killing him too fast before he actually pulled the blade out of his chest, and I was worried that would stop me dropping Oni-Goroshi. This isn't the case. There is no way you're going to be able to kill him quick enough once he is Uber-Hillock. Once Uber-Hillock pulls the sword out of his chest, he's going to get a new ability you haven't seen from Hillock before. Or actually, more accurately, 2 abilities. One, he will summon zombies around him. These keep spawning regardless of whether you kill them or not, so you do want to kill them as quickly as possible to avoid them overpowering you. The other ability he gains is the ability to leap slam on your head. This hurts like hell. As soon as you see him leap slam, you want to run as fast as possible to try and avoid the area he's going to land. Now you don't have to worry too much in this fight, because if you die, you can resume as I show you here. I should also mention that the sword drop is actually guaranteed once you've spawned Uber-Hillock, providing you can kill him. My first character spawned him at level 6, and he was quite manageable apart from the 1 kill he got on me. If you are really struggling with him, then kite him down the beach trying to avoid his attacks. Now once you do drop the sword, you can take your Scion out of the area into town to drop it off in your stash to sell or to use with another character. I believe based on the research I've done that it's only possible to drop 1 Oni-Goroshi per character. That said, I wasn't able to prove this. If you're going to be a masochist like me and try for another Oni-Goroshi once you drop your first one, then all you're going to need to do is roll another character to replace the one that you've just taken out of rotation. Uber-Hillock's spawn chance is locked behind RNG, and so times may vary wildly. And I will remind you to take care of yourself, keep yourself hydrated, and walk around plenty. This is a very repetitive task, and it can be difficult to drag yourself away, but you really should take a break every once in a while. If you want to know more about Oni-Goroshi before you farm it, then check out the video top left, which will show you how I build a character around this item. Best of luck, Exiles, and do let me know the time it took you in the comments below. And with that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.